You're doing it all wrong when you're trying to get your partner to take accountability for something that they've done or something that has harmed you or made you feel bad. When you come to them, you tell them, hey, when you said that thing to me, I felt so disrespected, or it was no consideration for me when you made that decision without me, and all this kind of stuff, right? You're coming in, you're speaking up, you're voicing, right? You're standing up for yourself. You let them know what doesn't work for you. You stand your ground. Maybe you're trying to set a boundary. You're doing all the things. But what are they doing in return? As soon as you say it, almost as fast as you can get it out of your mouth, they're firing back, getting defensive. No, I didn't. Or, well, that's because you did X, Y, Z. Or, I wouldn't do that if you didn't do X, Y, Z. Right? Tit for tat, battle for battle, throwing flames back and forth at each other. And where's that land you at the end of the day? Feeling not heard, not seen, right? On an island by yourself, like your partner doesn't care, like you have no emotional support. You feel like you just don't matter to them enough. And that age-old question keeps running through your head. If they cared about me, why don't they try to show it through just acknowledging when I'm feeling away, or just saying sorry, or just doing better, right? Why they always thinking about themselves, being so selfish? It's all the things, right? And look, you could be very accurate in that. They may be being very selfish and self-centered and only looking at their side of the tracks, right? But that's what we often do. And I'm going to tell you how I know that's what we often do, because if this is the only way you're thinking right now, you're probably doing the same thing. Rule 101, whenever we're going to go try to get any result out of another human being, is we have to think about how they're going to receive whatever's happening and what they're receiving means to them, right? We have to also remember that all of us are the same in a sense of nobody wants to be looked at as a bad person. No one wants to go to bed at night feeling like they're an issue or the problem, right? So the moment you bring constructive criticism, hopefully it's constructive, right? So some of you guys are out here coming to your partner with just criticism, period, attacking them, guns blazing, telling them how horrible they are and how you want them to do better and be better and, apologize to me, all this kind of forceful things that is never going to get you a positive result. But even with constructive criticism, you guys are coming in, putting a target on the other person, making them the problem. And what's the 101 rule for us as humans? We don't want to feel bad. So you have to also understand that where you might be coming to get someone to take accountability, you have to make sure that the way you're approaching and delivering that message does not put them in a position to feel like it's attacking their character. And so therefore, if they agree to or identify with the thing that you are talking about, then now they subconsciously feel like they have to identify with being a bad person. Now, I know that's not what you're trying to say to them at all. That's not the message you're trying to convey, but that's the emotional feeling that they're getting, right? You're saying, I'm the problem. That means bad me. That means I'm not good. That means I'm not deserving of love on some level. It really goes that deep on a subconscious way, right? If it didn't, people wouldn't fight so hard to go against it. If it wasn't true, people's ego wouldn't step in. People's ego wouldn't step in the way it does and start to champion for them not being wrong. See, that's where you get into that whole back and forth of trying not to be wrong, trying to prove yourself right so that you don't have to feel like you being wrong equals you being a bad person. So what you do instead is when you come to your partner, you build the habit of telling them all the things that they did right first, what you appreciate first, what you're grateful for first. Then you tell them, hey, and it would be great if you also did this. Or next time, if you could adjust and not do this, that would be so much better for me, right? Lift them up, inspire them first, then bring in, hey, what would help you even more? Or what would be the corrective thing, right? Now, I get it. If they did something really just messed up and there's nothing in it to appreciate, I get that as well. But even in that kind of an equation, the other part, the second piece that people go and get themselves into trouble with is they're not using I statements. Don't go in and make them the issue, make what they did the issue, right? So, yeah, maybe there is nothing to celebrate on their end that you do appreciate about whatever's going on in that dynamic. But at least come in and say, hey, I just feel, or my experience is this, or this is where I'm at whenever this thing happens, or when this happens, or when someone talks to me like this, or when I'm not giving consideration in certain ways, right? Speak about the thing that's happened, not the person being one with the thing. Because the moment you say, hey, when you just do this to me or you do that, right? And I'm not even saying it's the craziest thing to even put the, hey, when you say this to me, it makes me feel away. But that's a real slippery slope. And unless you're really good with your words and with your tonality and the way you bring the energy and you say it in a way that doesn't seem like you're trying to attack them at all, if you're not great at that, it's better to start off with just using I statements and making it a generalized thing towards the act, not the person. So they don't feel like they in that act are one and the same. But if there is something to give praise to, give praise to that, right? Understand that negative experiences always seem to talk a little bit louder than the positive ones because our minds are geared to look out for the negative because we have to be cautious of it. And so your partner's going to hear that negative comment a lot louder than they will the positive ones. And usually we tend to notice and speak on the negative things our partners do more often than all the things we love about what they do in our lives, right? So find something to tell them, hey, I really liked when you did this, or it was really great when you did this, and it would also be awesome if you started doing this, or if you didn't do that, or if you didn't talk to me this way. Or for example, right? Hey, I always appreciate whenever I want to come and talk to you about something, you're willing to, have a conversation with me. I appreciate that. But it would be great whenever we did, man, if you could just hear me out fully before you respond, that'd be great. Or if when you responded to me, have more thoughtfulness behind it, whatever. But tell them something constructive about what they're already doing, right? Something that you're liking, and then bring the constructive criticism behind that towards what you're struggling with without pinning it on them being the problem. Make the thing they're doing the problem. Start taking this approach a lot more frequently and watch over time how much better your partner gets at receiving constructive feedback without getting highly defensive and dismissive. If you need help building this kind of skill to communicate in this way so you can get better results and have more harmony in your relationship, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space, email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community so you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace on your own time through my live weekly coaching and Q&A calls where you can watch the replay if you're not there to be on the call present at the time, as well as my specialized content that's made exclusively for my members to answer your questions directly, and on my courses to help you learn how to navigate conflict and everything else under the sun with relationships. Either way, get in the race. Let's get it.